We have a ragtag bunch today. Right now we have Justin on the line, and we have Todd, and we have Todd the intern.
Todd,
running the stream. And I'm here. I'm Tim is here. We're waiting for Captain Negative to call in. But
Captain Negative.
With that being said, me and Justin already foresee the future of what's going to happen when he gets on. So, you know what? Do we want to get into that subject now so we can just cut him off?
I kind of want to save my hot take for him.
Okay, that's absolutely fine.
I
will get into. You want to get into the scouting combine or what?
Yeah, let's do a little bit on the scouting combine
like tomorrow.
That.
I have an alarm set and everything, man, for tomorrow.
So the scouting combine took place today. It was just running backs and offensive linemen, just doing bench press, no big deal. But they were doing interviews with Gettleman and Shermer the past couple of days, along with the prospects. The thing I got to take away from that is the first statement that I think got put out there, I think it was by Jordan Renan, is after the Giants had pretty much had our draft picks taken from us the past couple of years because our information has gotten out. They said, do not believe anything that's going on outside the Giants facility as far as any news. It sounds like Gettleman's going to be full smokescreen mode and not allowing anybody to figure out what we're thinking. Because at this point, I have no idea what they're thinking. Because I read one article and think there's no way in hell we're taking a quarterback. Then I read another one that it sounds like we're going to. That being said, I'm fine with the thing. It's going to be a surprise when number 2 happens.
Yeah, I'm a little worried because most of the interviews I've seen is pretty much them just flat out saying we're going to take the best player available, and I'm like, okay, Saquon Barkley. But at the same time, I'm really freaking out because all the stuff they're saying, well, the interviews I've seen anyway, it's all leading to them taking Barkley. But I'm pretty sure Tim, you're the one who always says this, that watch out because most of the time what they're saying isn't true because they're just trying to feed misinformation to other teams. So maybe they're trying to make Cleveland take Barkley at number 1 so we have the quarterback of our choosing. That's freaking me out as somebody who wants Barkley. Hearing them say we're going to take Barkley, I don't know how to take it. I don't know if I should be happy or if I should be, it's weird. These mind games are fucking with me.
Well, the one thing I would do, honestly, Todd, this is being absolutely serious and not joking with you, is start looking at the highlights of the other running backs that are coming out. It just, as much as and I'm not going to complain if Giants take Barkley at 2. If that happens, whatever. I just think if they take Barkley at 2, we missed an opportunity to really
for a quarterback
deepen our roster because the fact is, let's say best case scenario is Davis Webb is a quarterback for our future, and they see it.
Yeah.
If that's the case, fantastic. Then you know what? We trade down to number 2, even trade down to let's say Denver, and I think Denver's at 6, and we can get a guy like Quentin Nelson, the guard out of Notre Dame, which I loved hearing today, has grown up a Giants fan. He's from New Jersey.
Yeah, that's pretty cool to hear.
By far, if Nelson gets taken, it shores up an offensive line spot for years.
Yeah.
Not to mention all the rumors of us getting other offensive linemen, which I really think Gettleman's going to fix his line going in next season. Go ahead, Justin.
Yeah, I definitely hear you on the whole aspect of other running backs. Everybody else, I understand. Literally, this is the first time that we've come into a draft, and everybody who has an opinion on how we should spend our pick makes sense. You see what I'm saying? Everybody who wants to trade down makes sense. Everybody who wants Barkley, it makes sense. Everybody who wants a QB, it all makes sense. You know, like there's so many good things we can do with this draft pick. But the thing is, you were saying go watch highlights. I mean, first off, I don't encourage anybody to watch highlights. I encourage everybody to watch film because that's where you actually get the nitty gritty. You know, so I don't like highlights. But I know what you mean. Like, in my opinion, if I don't grab Saquon, I want Nick Chubb. Or is it Bradley Chubb? Which one is the running back? Nick Chubb's the running back, right?
Yes.
Pretty sure Nick Chubb. Okay, I don't want Sony Michel. I don't know why people think he's so good. He's absolute garbage. Like, I don't know why anybody thinks Sony Michel is good, but I know that running back out of Tennessee, he's pretty good too. I forgot his name. I watched some tape on him.
John
He's
Kelly.
not bad. John Kelly, yes, thank you. I've watched some tape on him. He's talented. My thing is, it's like I think there were so many talented running backs in this draft. Like, I'm not even going to argue that with you. I see it, and I think that there's going to be some running backs taken later. I think we're going to have the same thing happen again this year that happened last year. I think there's going to be some later round running backs who are going to shine this year. But my thing is, I just think Saquon Barkley is that much better than all the other running backs in this draft. Like, he's that much better, in my opinion. From just, like, seeing his tape, seeing, like, what he does, I haven't seen a running back do everything that he does like that since Damian Tomlinson. Like, have that much of a mixture and just everything that well. Like, there's not a weakness he has. He catches, he blocks like Elliott, he runs hard like Fournette. He is elusive as Alvin Kamara. You know, like, I don't know if I know another running back that's been that good coming into the draft. Even Leonard Fournette, people are talking about he's been the best running back coming into the draft in how long. And then Barkley comes in 1 year later, and just nobody even thinks about how good Fournette was because Barkley's that much better, you know?
Here's what I have to say about the Giants and the misinformation. This year, quite possibly more important than any other, is that misinformation. Because Cleveland has the pick ahead of us, and they have another pick two behind us. So if they get a read on what we're going to do, and because they have two picks in the top four, they could position that first pick to grab any player that they want. So you're going to see a lot of different pieces of information out there about who the Giants may take. What's interesting about all of the options is that I don't think that you could make a bad decision. The only bad decision,
that's exactly what I think.
The only bad decision to make is take one of the quarterbacks if you plan on playing Eli for 2 to 3 more seasons. Taking one of the quarterbacks that early, when you have as many roster needs as we do, if you're planning on playing Eli for 2 to 3 seasons anyway, take this opportunity, restock the defense, trade down, and take a quarterback later. I said it last week, I'll say it again here. Gone are the days where you have to take a running back, gone are the days when you have to take a quarterback in the first round to get value. We've seen quarterbacks be successful, being drafted from all over the draft board.
And that's the one thing I'll definitely bring up. So, James was talking on the chat earlier. I don't know if you guys got a chance to check out the Chris Sims little podcast thing from Bleacher Report. He literally has the quarterbacks ranked, and this is his order: Lamar Jackson at number 1, Josh Allen at number 2,
my God,
Mayfield, Darnold, Rosen. And he said he saw tape, and it's interesting because Chris Sims played, so he knows what he's looking at. But he said the biggest question, there was not – Lamar Jackson, out of all of them, has played more games than any of them and had less questions about what he can do. Now, Lamar Jackson weighed in at, I think, if off the top of my head, I think he weighed in at 215 today, which is going in the right direction. Granted, he also knows there's going to be questions about his weight. So obviously he weight gained it up before weigh-ins. You know, who knows what his playing weight would be? Probably a little bit lighter. But you know what? James was trying to sell me on Lamar Jackson. You know, being the draft pick. If we traded down, and let's say we traded down, then a lot of people are, you know, not as high as Lamar Jackson. So if we trade in the middle of the first round, grab some picks, and still got Lamar Jackson, still got the quarterback, it would be intriguing. And now, without the questions of Lamar Jackson being a little slight and maybe being injury prone when he comes to the NFL game, without those, I mean, just think about that offense, guys, with Lamar Jackson being behind there.
Constantly missed slant passes because he has no accuracy when it comes to range.
I want to see he has no accuracy.
Holy crap! Hey, Ned, I didn't even know you were here.
That snuck in. Marco must have put him in on the low.
What up, hombre?
And for the people trying to call in as well, we're having technical difficulties. Obviously, Ned knows somebody, and he got in. But
no, I just called really
and
late. I actually had to go because I'm in a hotel at a completely different area. But I just wanted to ask you guys one quick question. What's your opinion on Darnold skipping the not skipping but not going? And what do you guys think about Quentin Nelson? I think it was 35.
Yeah, the bench press. Yeah.
I don't really pay attention to the whole bench presses, man. I just feel like that's just there for fun. I don't really think it really shows you anything about. I mean, look at Stephen Paya, the guy that
I disagree when it comes to offensive linemen. I disagree with it. If I see an offensive lineman can only bench, let's say 10, 12 times, that's disgusting.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, but when offensive linemen's coming in only benching 10, 12 times.
And the way I look at it, guys, is honestly, if you're doing terrible at these things you're doing at the combine, I think that says something about you as well, because you've been training just for the combine for months, and then if you're gonna just not take it fully seriously, or not working at your top of your game, that says something about you to me as well.
Yeah.
But to get to Ned's question, as far as Quentin Nelson, I'll answer that first because I'm a big offensive lineman guy. I like watching offensive linemen. Quentin Nelson's nasty.
He's a beast.
Is he worth taking at number 2? No, he's an offensive guard.
Yeah.
Now, if we backed out a few picks, maybe like 7th, 8th pick or something like that, I would absolutely be all about Quentin Nelson coming to the Giants, especially since he's a Giants fan on top of it, which makes it even better.
Yeah. Let me ask you this. Do you think it's possibility – now, I'm going to answer this before I even ask the question with a definite no. But let me ask you this. Do you think it's actually a possibility that the Giants pull a move like this, right? Grab Barkley for number 2 pick, right? Find out around what other pick in the first round Quentin Nelson would go, trade up, and grab Quentin Nelson. Do you think it's a possibility, even though I don't think it's that?
There's too many.
I would say no because he's just going to be too high, and we need too many things.
Right. The reason for that is because there's too many needs across the roster that you can address in the draft. Jerry Reese was famous for that, for giving away picks to try and get up and take a player. So I think the new regime is going to value picks, especially with the roster in its current state.
Mm-hmm. And to add on top of that, which is Justin's absolutely correct, this is a guard and center heavy draft.
Definitely.
There's a lot of talent in there, so there's no reason to go up and get Quentin Nelson. As much as it would be nice, there is going to be similar talents. And as far as the Sam Darnold not throwing, Ned, that's a non-issue. Honestly,
Yeah.
I was listening to Stephen A. today, and he's absolutely right. You know what? You guys got enough film on me. You have enough, games on me. You can go see what I can throw. And there's no the main thing about the combine is the interviews, as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah. Marco's asking which QB could fall to the second round. I could see Lamar Jackson falling easily.
Well, listen.
Yeah, go ahead, Justin.
Listen, this is important. They're not taking a quarterback in the second round.
Yeah, no.
They're
I
either
agree.
taking a quarterback at 2, or they're investing
It's
a
just
late
not
pick
happening.
before they're waiting till next year.
Yeah.
At 2, there's just too much you can do.
Yeah.
There's too much you can do with pick 34. I mean, I think that's right where Drew Brees was picked. David Carr's been picked there. So there is good quarterback value there. But, again, are you going to invest that premium pick in a guy that's not going to play?
Yeah.
Well, you're almost getting to the point, though. If you're waiting for the second round, which means you didn't love any of the quarterbacks anyway, to take them top enough of the first round. He's almost in that range of, is he as good as Davis Webb? Then why would you take him anyway? If he's just as good.
And I'll tell you what, Davis Webb he's been showing, man. He's been fighting that he wants to play and that he wants to be the future, man. He's been talking to Pat Shurmur. He's had a couple of meetings with Pat Shurmur where they don't talk about football, but come on, we know what they talk about. And he's been told he's been quoted saying that he's been telling Pat Shurmur that he's ready for this team, and that he's out there and he's killing it. He's out there throwing with Evan Ingram a lot. Him and Odell Beckham Jr. hanging out, and from what Pat Shurmur said, he sees him and Eli Manning in the facility every single day, like those two together. For what it seems like Eli Manning's also backing Davis Webb.
Yep, and that's the one thing I like to hear. I mean, as long as Davis Webb has the talent, he's obviously got the work ethic.
Of course.
Then I'm hearing everything out of here where I'm fine with us not taking quarterback at 2.
Mm-hmm. And even Justin,
but if we're not taking quarterback at 2,
to make it.
We got to trade back.
Nah, if we're not getting quarterback,
it doesn't have to be
the best player in the draft.
No, you know what? If like I said, I would not complain if we got Barkley. And it's not like I'd probably be one of the first people to go get a Barkley jersey. It would be awesome. But
I'd sell my soul for a Barkley jersey.
but here's the deal though. I'd rather be, especially with a new defense coming in.
Yeah.
With the 3-4, we're gonna need players and we're gonna need linebackers, which I'm more excited about than anything.
How's the pass rushing linebacker depth in this year's draft? Outside of the first round, honestly, in my mind, I'm completely sold on Barkley at 2. So in my mindset, the only players I'm thinking of, additionally besides Barkley, are players we can draft in the second round. So how good is the outside linebacker, pass rusher type linebackers? How good is that depth in the second round this year?
That's the thing with the pass rushing linebackers. I don't know if they're necessarily going to need that. I think we almost need the middle linebackers more than we need the outside linebackers.
Really?
Because let's put it, Vernon is good. Vernon's going to be one of the outside linebackers.
Is that you think confirmed?
More than likely, Vernon is not going to play a defensive end in a 3-4. He's just not. He's going to play
so? You think he's big enough?
No, he's big enough. It just doesn't make sense. He's going to play like a Chandler Jones, like Chandler Jones did for Arizona this past season, who had plenty of sacks. And honestly, you got to look at a 3-4. A 3-4 is not a whole lot different from a 4-3. They're pretty much still rushing 4 people. It's just mattering of from where.
Yeah.
It's the guessing part, which Vernon's going to be rushing 90% of the time.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give you a guy that I think the Giants should be looking into, I'm blanking out on what his first name is, but he's a USC linebacker, Nwosu.
I think
he's gonna be a second or a third. He might be early third round pick, but he's probably gonna end up going in the second. He's a good linebacker. He's overall he's all over the field. I can definitely see Giants, taking a player like that. I really think the offensive line is going to get taken care of in the off season as far as free agency. I think we might take an offensive lineman. If we get an offensive lineman, like somebody falls to us that's, high up on our boards, I think they'll take one. But I really don't think they're going to. I don't think they're going to go out of their way getting offensive linemen in the draft.
What if we get Norwood and the Mauler?
Norwell, you mean?
Yeah, Norwell and the rookie out of Notre Dame.
That would be amazing. And did you tell me our offensive line wouldn't be fixed?
Yeah. That would fix our offensive line. Let's be honest.
That would fix our offensive line pretty well. I mean, because honestly, all we would need is really a left tackle. Even if we got like a Band-Aid, like Nate Solder.
Bro. Eric Flowers.
I'm going to tell you right now, he wasn't the worst one in the league, though. He wasn't the worst one in the league.
Don't you dare. Yes, he was.
No, he was. I mean, you want to go by the film. If you want to go by the PFF grades, honestly, he didn't give up as many sacks as we all like to think he did. I mean, granted, he's definitely not great, and he shouldn't be our left tackle. He should be maybe our right tackle, but honestly, he might be a guard.
No, he shouldn't be a tackle.
If he stays on the team, but going to what Justin said, I definitely think the Norwell thing is going to happen. I'm also hearing another name. If this still might be a possibility. It's Joe Berger from Minnesota Vikings, who played center and guard.
Yeah.
Which he's going to be a solid player. He's not going to cost as much as Norwell.
Yeah,
and I think there's rumors that he's going to follow Trimmer over.
I think Norwell is 100% happening. I think we're going to make him the highest paid guard in the league. But here's my concern, though. I really want Norwell and Sitton. If we got Norwell, like my best case scenario, and I would be okay if in the free agency, all we did, like we spent everything we had on Norwell and Sitton, I would be okay with that. Like if we took everything we had and we can't sign any more players just because of them, I would be 100% okay with that. Because I think those two players are that good. Norwell's young, and he's like a top 3 guard in the league. Sitton is old, but he's probably still going to play for 2 or 3 more years. How would you feel about that? Norwell and Sitton, but that kind of takes up everything we have, basically.
Well, I wouldn't spend. If you're just spending on Norwell, you're not spending on Sitton all like that. If Sitton wants to come over on a cheap deal or like a 1-year deal,
I don't think
sure.
we're going to give them both a good deal.
Right.
I think definitely for sure. I think Norwell's the number 1 person on our board in free agency.
You can't. It's about disbursement of resources. There were a lot of needs on the roster anyway. Couple in the fact that even though Tim said, and I agree with him, a 3-4 isn't all that different from a 4-3, but it does require slightly different personnel. So you have to allot some resources in, massaging your roster to fit your scheme. And there's going to be some of that. So, you invest money in Norwell, and that's your guy on the offensive line this year. You might get another player on the cheap, but you're definitely going to want to save some monetary resources to fill some other needs that just organically come up.
Yeah, and that's the thing too is they've already looked into it, and as far as money wise, this is why I really think reading in between the lines all these articles on how they're talking about money, because they're going to give an extension to Odell. Is it going to be for $20 million? No, but they're going to give him an extension. Landon Collins is going to need an extension. I think Eli's going to be coming off the books in a year.
Right. All right.
And that's one thing I really think the quarterback thing. I really think we're probably taking a quarterback at 2. I just have a feeling they already plan on Eli coming off the books, but they got to say everything when they got to say publicly. It's not like they're going to say, yeah, Eli's going to be here a year and he's going to be gone. They're not going to say that publicly, period.
I mean, Pat Shermer thinks that Eli can play for 3 more years.
Of course. What's he supposed to say?
Yeah.
Well, it's like Belichick asking Belichick about Brady. Yeah, I think Brady can play 5 more years. I mean, what's he supposed to say? Oh, this guy's got maybe 6 months. He's got maybe 6 good games in him.
6 more good games in him. He's got about 1 more sack where he breaks the hip, you know?
Yeah. I mean, don't listen to all the public's crap. The only thing that scared me with the Norwell thing is they're coming out with a lot of for all this misinformation that's supposed to be coming on for smoke screens. All these free agents are pretty much sounding like the shopping list for our free agency is already out there. It's like we're almost on a wedding register for what we want in free agency, because I just saw we're trying to go after Graham Gano, the kicker, as well in our free agency. I was like, okay. You know, I don't see. I really think Norwell is definitely gonna be a possibility. Just the need and the relationship just matches up. Period. But all this people knowing exactly what we want is kind of weird, especially when it's not really coming out about other people. The other person I'm going to tell you guys right now, I'm intrigued by. I don't think it's going to happen. Is Honey Badger is going to be a free agent, and he's coming from Arizona.
I would love it, but that's not happening. I would love it, but that's not happening. He's going to want too much money, but I would love it. He's a beast.
You know, he might come at a reasonable price. 2 things.
I don't think so.
2 things.
Yeah.
One, actually, I'm going to say 3 things. 3 things. One, he's coming from Arizona. He knows the defensive coordinator.
Yep.
2, he has a decent list of injuries that is going to drive down his value. None of the injuries, you know, especially when you see the way he came back, are particularly concerning for me. And 3, you know, for someone like him, you give him the opportunity to play next to a guy like Landon Collins, and those are something that those guys live for. So, you know, is it a slam dunk guarantee? No, but I think the odds are maybe a little bit higher than you might initially think, you know, when you hear a name like Honey Badger.
Well, the nice thing with Honey Badger is, from what I've read up on Betcher, his biggest thing with his defense is he wants people to have versatility throughout the defense, which obviously Landon Collins is going to be. So he's going to probably play a little linebacker here and there. You know, he's going to play safety, obviously. But Honey Badger could play corner, safety. You know, even probably play a little linebacker. You know, and that's intriguing. That's definitely intriguing. Well, yeah, I'm excited about this. We only got, the 12th when we start, you know, quote, unquote, tampering. We get to start talking to agents. And this is the first year in a lot of years, guys, that we don't have a good idea what they're going to go after or what they're going to do. We pretty much figured out Reese. Let's be honest. You know, with Gettleman, it's going to be a whole new bag of tricks. Now, who are you guys? What's the news this week that you guys came across?
You can go first, Justin.
The most the most interesting thing that I read was actually today. The Rams getting ready to part ways with Tavon Austin.
I thought about that one as well.
I'm
with you.
Listen, they owe him $8 million, so that contract's got to change. I'm not going to pay him $8 million, and I don't even know if he's a great fit, but if they could rework that contract, get it more friendly, that's another guy, get the ball in his hands early and let him make a play. It's an interesting pair with Odell.
It would be interesting. And you know what? The funny thing is I thought about the same thing. Well, obviously, everybody that becomes a free agent, I'm like, would he fit on the Giants? Well, the thing, with the thing with Tavon Austin, with Shurmur, I think Shurmur could definitely find him a way to get the ball in his hands. Now, would I pay? Would I want the Giants to pay really anything? Anything significant for him? No. And as far as trade, there's no way in hell he's getting traded. He's getting released. He got way too much money for not doing really anything for the Rams. But he's definitely a talent with the ball in his hand, and he could definitely take over for Dwayne Harris, who will be gone. I'm assuming he's going to be gone. How about you, Todd? What news did you see?
I've looked at a lot of stuff today. I went through a lot of websites. I watched a lot of YouTube videos by some Giants YouTube channel. I think it's called Big Blue Squad or something like that. They post interviews and stuff like that.
Whoa!
Don't plug
anybody
we don't
have the damn. You're plugging other people on the podcast.
It wasn't on
what
purpose.
The hell are you doing?
It wasn't on purpose. All right, we'll move on from it. I'm sorry. That was an accident.
You are so lucky with the board's broken right now. You would have definitely been in the penalty box.
I have control of the stream. I just shut it off. No, I wouldn't do that. Okay, my bad. It's an accident. Scratch the name of the service. Scratch it. It was called.
God, that's why you're still in there.
Don't worry about it. Shut up, man. Okay, whatever. So he posts videos of interviews, and I love the channel because I live in Texas, so I don't get to watch interviews of the Giants, right? 'Cause I live in Texas, so it's not a lot that I get to hear news. So I have to go into it, find it.
In Texas, they don't have the internet in Texas.
No, you
can't see interviews.
But it's not like everywhere you walk. Like in New York, you probably can't travel 10 feet without seeing the New York Giants logo somewhere and some news in a newspaper. Everywhere I walk, there's Texans and Cowboys disgusting crap around me. Right? It burns to the skin. What I'm saying is, I watched this, and I'm basically watching Dave Gettleman and Pat Shurmur interviews, and they're both just consistently talking about taking the best player in the draft, taking the best player available to them, no matter what position. That's like a quote from Pat Shurmur, right? And then Pat Shurmur recently has been quoted on saying that he has no use for a running back who can't catch the ball, right? So everybody who wants Barkley are just basically orgasming at the sound of all of this, right? Like even on the video, all the comment section is ridiculous. Like everybody's losing their mind. But and then we heard what Barkley today came out and was talking about what if he got drafted by the Giants. And of course he says the thing that every player should say, well, it doesn't matter where I get taken. I'd love the opportunity. That's what matters to me is the opportunity, right? Just being a good lad. But he spends a little more time on the New York Giants. He goes in depth more about our roster. He talks about Evan Ingram. He talks about just Odell, Sterling Shepard, and even Eli Manning. And it's kind of like nudging out there. It's like, hey, maybe Pat Shurmur and Gettleman are calling up Barkley or talking with Barkley, But the same, that's the news I'm looking at. Is that I've seen a lot.
I've got a hard on Barkley, man.
I do, bro. You have no idea.
What are you going to do when he doesn't get picked?
I'm gonna march with a noose around my neck, and I'm gonna find the tallest building here in Texas. That's what I'm gonna do.
And that'll be the end of Todd's internship.
But this news is freaking me out because freaking Tim keeps getting into my head about with all this, like, don't believe what they're saying because it's the exact opposite of what they're going to do. So I'm freaking out here because I'm on the verge of tears, man, because I'm hearing all this good news about Barkley, but at the same time, I got a voice in the back of my head of Tim going, hey, man, don't, it's not going to happen. So it's really throwing me for a loop. So I don't know. I'm just kind of freaking out about it, to be honest.
There's no reason to freak out about Saquon Barkley. Now, yes,
I'm freaking out.
It'd be amazing if he got on a roster, especially if our offensive line got fixed in the off season. That would be a disgusting thing. But dude, relax.
Definitely.
First of all, Saquon Barkley. I will give him credit, and that's why he's pumped me up a little bit. It sounds like he's trying to get to the Giants.
I think so. I think he's also trying to get there. He's like, hey, man. He's like, hey, guys.
And I love that.
He's like, hey, Giants, y'all up? At like midnight on his phone. But it's funny. Actually, a quote that he said when he was talking about, I think somebody in the chat just brought it up. I think it's I like pie. He even said when he was referring to the Giants players, like I was saying, he said Odell, Sterling Shepard. He didn't say Evan Ingram. He said that tight end. So, I like pie. It's like funny when Barkley called Evan Ingram that tight end. I thought that was pretty funny.
Well, you know what? He doesn't know a roster like that. And from what I did read, he grew up a Jets fan.
Yeah, that's kind of gross. But, I mean, hey, bring him home. But here's a question I have for you guys that's, like, kind of serious, though. Like, and I feel like a lot of us are ignoring it, not purposely, but just because we're so hyped about the offensive players that we could possibly get in this draft. Like, first off, we all know we have huge holes on defense, especially for a 3-4 defense. What are we going to do? Like, we're definitely not spending our first-round pick on it unless Bradley Chubb just comes out of nowhere, then I'm marching the castle. I'm storming the castle. You know, the free agency for the defense is very weak.
Listen, Baby James, relax with that. Storming the castle.
That's my favorite.
I'm going to tell you right now, Bradley Chubb is definitely a possibility at 2.
I hope
and
not.
I'm going to tell you right now, if that happens, all you got to say is it's going to be one more year of JPP, and then he's gone.
That's true.
It'd be one more year of JPP, and that contract's gone.
What's going on,
you
gentlemen?
could pay Odell.
I'm barging in for a short period of time. What are you guys up to?
Well, you know, I'm glad you're here because I have to put a complaint in. Marco. Your intern in here is plugging other
Don't you dare.
Other damn podcasts.
It was
because
it's not a podcast. It wasn't a podcast.
Of his videos. He's like, I can never see interviews of Giants out in Texas. He actually, Texas has no internet whatsoever. And you can't, you have no access to anything. You know what? Go download Bleacher Report onto your phone for the Giants, and you'll pretty much can find out most news.
Now that the big man let's talk Odell because James clearly fell asleep. James, if you're listening, you're a douchebag. If you're not listening,
Captain Negative,
we love you.
For $20 million, people are hype about Barkley and Odell. For $20 million, the Giants are not going to keep him. So you'll never get Barkley and Odell.
He's not. Listen,
you'll get
$20 million all he wants.
You'll get 1 year out of franchise tag on. That's about it.
Yeah, that's exactly what you'll get. If he's gung ho on $20 million, the Giants aren't going to release him on that. They're not going to release him on that. They'll franchise it, and he'll play at the franchise. And that's what'll happen. $20 million a season is quarterback money, and that's quarterback money that cripples your franchise from being able to win because you can't surround the quarterback with proper talent. So you're not going to give that to a wide receiver. I don't care how good he is. I wouldn't give that money to Jerry Rice.
Where are people getting this number of $20 million? Did this come out of Odell's mouth?
First of all, you need to do more research. But
he's in Texas.
And not going
on. It's a report from Mike Garofalo. People around Odell say he wants $20 million. Then Jarvis Landry. Right. Then Jarvis Landry retweeted Mike Garafalo's post saying $20 million for 5 years.
Okay. I really hope he doesn't want that because he's my favorite player on the team, and I want him to stay. But if he wants that money, then I'm more than willing to let him leave.
He's going to get it. He'll get that money.
I don't think he's
going
going to
to 20
mil.
give it to him.
He's not getting 20. He's not,
No,
he'll
he'll
get close
get
to it, but
$20
he's not getting 20.
Unless it's the Browns.
He'll get 20. The cap goes up a few mil every year. It'll work out that he'll get 20.
From who?
He'll get. Nah,
I think
he's not
Odell
gonna.
should be the highest paid
He'll get
receiver
paid
in
a
the
little
league. I
bit
do
more
think
than
that.
Antonio Brown, which is getting like 17 or something like that. He'll get a
I
little
think
bit more.
Odell should be the highest paid receiver in the league. If he gets a deal like that, I'm not even going to argue. Maybe not 20 mil, but higher than the highest
Not
paid
this
receiver,
year.
whoever that is currently.
Not this year.
Based on his player performance, you're going to give him all that money?
Yeah.
He's not.
You know what?
He's not
This-
getting
this-
that
this-
money now. Nope.
Not now.
He's locked up for 2 years. He can't do anything.
Coming off
Not
the
now.
injury.
No,
Yeah,
I mean,
coming off
let's
the
say
injury.
how, this is assuming later, like next year. So let's say he plays the same way he always does this year. I think he deserves the highest paid receiver in the league money. If he comes off the injury, like fine, that's what I think. That if not, then
Listen,
I'll
here's
tell you
the
one
deal.
thing. He's gonna have a good year this year.
I
Yep.
think he's
The
going to have
deal.
one hell of a year. I think he's going to win comeback player of the year this upcoming year.
If you're a wide receiver that wants $20 million a year, you want to lose. The only team in the NFL that can afford that is the Cleveland Browns. So go play in Cleveland, Odell. Buy all your money and all your fame that comes from outside of football activities. Because you ain't doing
By the way,
shit in
Odell, if you're
Cleveland.
listening, Colin.
Because you ain't doing
Here-
shit in Cleveland.
And comeback player of the year, don't you have to have like a down season to get comeback player of the year? What are you talking
He
about?
got injured.
Yeah, he didn't have
He's down
he didn't
here.
do anything last year. He didn't do anything last year.
I know. So if he comes back this year and kills it, I think he'll get comeback player of the year.
Oh God, no.
I have faith. You guys are too negative.
You're special, Jay.
I thought James wasn't on the show tonight. This is ridiculous.
No, if I was him, I would not be a distraction.
It's not.
Have him on seat. He's the number one. He's the number one headline. We're not even in preseason yet.
Let's see people make it.
Listen, and I'm going to say this too.
No, who is breathing into their mic?
That's Tim.
Is
That's
it
me?
like a jog?
Oh, my bad.
God damn it.
I was waiting to talk, and then I forgot I had the mic open.
Listen,
Tim's just sitting there
Listen.
sounding like he just ran a marathon.
if Odell, if J-Zach's dreams come true, and we take Saquon Barkley at 2,
Yep.
do you think Odell Beckham's going to want to leave with that type
Hell
of running
no.
back? Those two
Hell
are
no.
going
He's
to
gonna wanna stay here
relish
forever.
each other. They're going to be
Those are going to be
the
best
duo
friends,
of all duos, the tag team of all tag teams.
They're
He ain't
like
going
if
anywhere.
people think Antonio Brown and Le'Veon Bell are good, if we have Barkley and Odell, that's going to be game over.
Odell.
And you guys forget about Evan Ingram and Sterling Shepard.
Yeah, we still have.
You guys
everything
forget
pretty
about
separate.
them.
Like this is why we need Barkley. I'm telling you, it's gonna. This is what I dream about at night. Every night I go on Madden and create a Saquon Barkley and put him on the Giants.
Odell's taking what little leverage he has left to try and plant in the Giants' head that he's worthy of this deal. But the Giants know what he's worth, and they know that they have him for at least the next 2 seasons, and they don't have to do shit.
Absolutely.
Because if he sits out, he gets fined. And listen, somebody's got to pay for those trips to France. Odell, if you're listening, forget about the time difference. Call in.
I'm saying, call in Odell. I'd cry. I swear, I'll cry on the mic.
It's
I will
what,
cry
3
live.
in the morning there? You know you're up.
You know what? I
I'd
can't
cry a lot.
stand this millennial. This millennial suck off fest.
I
from
can't
Todd.
stand. I can't stand how old you
Like
are.
I don't
Turning up.
even want Saquon Barkley on the team. Not because he's not the most talented running back. Is because I don't think you can handle it.
I would lose my mind. Like you guys would catch me if when we stream during the draft this year, if Saquon Barkley's name is called at number 2, you guys will see me cry. Yeah, I will hear me cry. I promise you, I will cry. That's a promise.
I don't want Saquon Barkley anymore. I don't want him on the team at all.
Let's be honest. Quick question though. This is a quick question. Considering the Giants and the Browns don't take Barkley, what do you guys think is the lowest Barkley can possibly fall? I think it's 4. I think there's no way the Browns could pass on him. That's 4.
The Colts are taking him at 3. They just cut Gore.
I don't know, man. The Colts seem pretty hyped on Bradley Chubb, or even just trading down.
Yeah, I've heard the same thing with the Colts wanting Bradley Chubb, but who knows? And honestly, I don't see. There's no way in hell Barkley's going later than 5.
I don't think he's going any later than 4. If the Browns are dumb enough to grab a quarterback at the number 1 overall pick and not grab Barkley, if they're dumb enough, there's no way they'll be dumb enough to pass on him again. Number 4.
The only way Barkley drops is if there's a big run on the quarterbacks. That means
Honestly, I think
quarterback
we're gonna see what we did
went 1,
I think we're gonna
quarterback
see
went
trade-ups
2. There be some trade ups to where quarterback goes
Yeah.
3, and things like that.
Yeah.
Because I've seen mock drafts where Cleveland Browns don't even take Barkley at 4. They take Fitzpatrick from Alabama, which they definitely need a secondary.
Yeah.
Who's the free agency? Who is the free agent that you guys want to see Giants go get? Other than Norwell, which we all hope happens.
I was about to just
Who's the guy you guys want them to go get?
Nate Solder or Sitton?
I'll say McKinnon.
McKinnon. No, because then we're not getting Barkley. Don't do that. What's wrong with you?
Well, now I'm on that train because I hope that happens now.
Shut up. Low-key, though, isn't McKinnon
But
5'9"?
But I'm going to tell you right now, guys, just for a bruiser back, I really think Carlos Hyde could be a New York Giant.
I think, I can see that. I don't want it, but I can see it. I think he's good. I think he's sufficeable. That's the right word?
Sufficeable. Oh, what the hell is that supposed to be?
No, it's not
Yeah.
it. Serviceable. There it is. Sorry.
Sufficeable. What the hell?
I'm in college.
Aren't you in school right now?
I'm in college, so. I had class today, man. My mind is fried. My mind is fried. Serviceable. Thank you. Oh, Antoine Campbell says Nigel Bradham or Zach Brown.
I like both those guys.
Yeah, me too. Demario Davis,
I
I like that too, but he wants too much money.
First of all, guys, all these guys that worry about the money, are you paying for these guys? You're not.
Hey,
it's not coming out of your pocket.
Dollars, man.
I worry about the cap.
I don't. I'm not worried about the cap. You know what? It'll get figured out. And guys, the cap is going to get cleared big time because I'm going to tell you right now, probably Eli's gone after this season, which that's a big cap hit gone. JPP's probably gone after this season. And if Vernon doesn't make a good transition to the 3-4 linebacker, he's going to be gone as well. And that's almost $60 million right there.
True.
And there's so many ways they can restructure the cap, as far as front loading, back loading, all that stuff. They can always mess around with the numbers. I never, I used to do the same thing. We used to worry about the cap. Then I see teams like Seattle just keep paying people, and I couldn't understand how the hell they were doing it. But that's all it is. Just you keep moving the cap around. You can mess around with it.
Oh, you know what? Dolphins just gave Jarvis Landry permission to seek for a trade. Oh, looks like he's going to be.
Well, that's good. Well, that's good. He's a free agent, so I don't know what trade they're going to pull off.
Yeah, but they said they're just giving permission to seek for a trade. The combine is tomorrow at 9 a.m. Eastern
Oh, they
time,
did
right?
franchise it, did they? Yeah, the combine starts tomorrow.
Yeah, but 9 a.m. Eastern time, right?
Yeah, second day is tomorrow.
Okay,
people
9
will start
a.m.
running.
Eastern time.
We'll see how fast
Correct?
some of these running backs are.
Oh my God.
Who is the running back that you guys
Is it 9
think is
a.m.
gonna?
Eastern time?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Who's the running back that you guys think will run a ridiculous 40 time and all of a sudden shoot up the boards?
Perfect.
Just random.
Sonny Michel. In all honesty, Sonny Michel. Even though I think he's completely overrated, but I think his 40 time will make him shoot up.
I don't know how you could talk when it sounds like you have Barkley's dick in your mouth.
But to be honest with you, I'm looking for it. I'm not even
sorry,
gay,
this
dude,
family
but I
show. My
welcome
bad. There goes the family show. My bad.
Are you implying? Are you implying that there's something wrong with homosexuality? What is wrong with you? This is 2018.
Let's not go. Let's.
No, I mean,
bring it back.
you do what you want with your mouth.
It's me
But,
backwards. Yeah, I'm with that one.
You do what you want with your mouth, but hey, you know what? I just meant that get off his nuts. God, we know you love Barkley.
I'm with you. But somebody.
We know you love Barkley.
Daniel said Goose. Who's that? Who's Goose? Guice.
Yes, he's solid, and I like what he had to say. He literally said, anybody that passes on me, because he's like, I know I'm going to go in the first round. Anybody that passes on me, just wait till you get hell when I play you.
Golly, that's some narcissistic shit.
Let's put it this way. When Leonard Fournette was on the team with him, Demarius Geis from LSU, Geis out-rushed him. And so he had more yards than Fournette. He had more yards. Yeah, he had more yards than Fournette did in Fournette's last year at LSU.
Doesn't mean he's better than Fournette though.
Oh God, no, it doesn't. All right,
I know.
But
I'm just saying.
The kid's got talent. The kid's definitely got talent.
What kind of back is he?
He's not a power back, but he's trying to think who to even compare him to.
Is he like a Dalvin Cook? Like a Matt Forte, maybe?
Yeah,
R.I.P. Matt Forte's career.
He's compared him. He's compared to Dalvin Cook.
Dalvin Cook, okay. R.I.P. to Matt Forte's career. Retired today.
Oh,
we
whatever.
don't care about.
Who cares? Yeah, you know what? Once you go to you're a Jet, you're retiring anyway. Let's be honest.
What about
Hi,
Marshall?
Weston Richburg.
What about Snap?
Hi, Weston Richburg.
Oh yeah, I want him gone.
Richburg's gone. I haven't even seen anything even remotely even thinking about re-signing him.
Yeah, there hasn't even been any talk about it. No reports, nothing. I mean, we all know he's gone. Ben Jones outperformed him, and he's way cheaper. And
Ben
he's younger.
Jones or Brent
No, he's not younger.
Yeah, he's younger, but not by much. About
He's like
a year.
Younger, I think. Yeah.
But yeah, like you said, Brent Jones is way cheaper, so that'll be taken care of. And Pugh, not for the money he wants. That's the only way. I think he would be back if he actually wanted to come back at a reasonable price.
If he wanted to come back cheap, I would be really excited about him and Norwell. But I know he's not going to want to come back cheap because all NFL players, I mean, I get it. They're all selfish. They want the money. I get it. But he's going to want his money, and we're not going to pay him.
There's the one thing I will give NFL players. I never get as much money as you can because your career could be over in one play.
True, but even the rookies
So-
make enough money for like a lifetime now. I mean, if they're wise with their money.
Mm.
But I
Yeah,
get it, though. Definitely.
yeah.
Get as much as you can.
Hey, yeah, get as much as you can. Hey, it's not your money, and whatever somebody's willing to pay you, that's what you're worth.
Yeah. I get it. I mean, I completely get the whole get as much money as you can. It just kind of sucks sometimes whenever a player that you really want to stay on your team or come to your team won't just for the money, you know? I can see where that would kind of hurt people's pride. But at the same time, it's like if you were in their shoes, you're trying to set yourself for the rest of your life, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's
Well,
the
this
business
is
in the end.
this is the one thing that you grew up with, where you grew up with free agency. Justin and I grew up when we saw it before there was free agency. So pretty much, guys stayed. If you were a Giant, you stayed a Giant. You would almost have to be complete garbage to get cut off the team.
Yeah. Now players, man, they'll be on like 3-4 different teams in their career.
Yeah, I mean, and that's the way it is. I mean, you really got to hit on somebody for the cap to work, and everybody, to keep people on the team. You got to keep recycling good young players. You got to have somebody that's good at drafting to recycle players in and out. And you can't hold on. You can't hold on to these veterans that you might love, but they're on their last legs. Because their contracts are going to be bloated and not worth, what they're doing.
Yeah.
So, Justin, are you still there?
I'm here.
Okay. I want your help with this. Because I know you went through the whole old school Giants. Who's the player that we should teach Todd on? And by teaching Todd, we're also teaching the other Giants fans that are on the younger side that don't realize what life was like let's say pre-Eli.
I know one already.
Pre-Eli?
He was our third-round pick. He was the last time we had a third-round pick. I mean, a third pick in overall. Pat Shermer said it today. He said the last time we had a top 2 pick, we grabbed LT. The last time we had a top 3 pick, I forgot who his name was, but he said somebody. And apparently that guy was really good from what Pat Shermer said.
Oh, it was Carl Banks.
Carl Banks, that guy.
Yes. You don't know that.
Well, Pat
Yes,
Shermer
first
called
of all,
him his teammate,
you
so.
absolutely need to go back and watch the Giants when we had a 3-4. When Lawrence Taylor was on the outside linebacker, the other outside linebacker was Carl Banks. We had guys like Pepper Johnson, Gary Reasons in the middle. You have to watch those defenses because that's what we're getting back to, hopefully. And, hey, you know what? Now, I know this is blasphemy that I want to say this, Justin. What if a guy like Bradley Chubb is LT-like?
I can't believe you just compared LT to Bradley Chubb.
That's a tough comparison. What I will say though is
that is more than blasphemy.
What I will say is that it's been a really long time since we had that defensive player that could just completely overtake a game. You know?
Honestly, Aaron Donald, in my opinion, is the best player in the league right now. Even he isn't an LT.
The best player in the league?
Yeah, I think it's Aaron Donald.
I would say he's close. I wouldn't say he's the best player in the league, but he's definitely up there.
I think
Aaron,
he's the best
what
player
to say about that?
Some people think it's Khalil Mack, but I think Aaron Donald just does it all better.
Well, as far as football, it's tough to be, people outside of your position. definitely we could rank the people at a certain position, but to be like a defensive tackle is better than a quarterback. You know, how do you rate that? Because the fact is quarterback has way more effect on the game than a defensive tackle does. But for a guy like Aaron Donald, who's ridiculous, who technically we could have got instead of Odell. Now, here's the question, because they all went back to back, and I pretty much know the answer, at least on one of them. Would you guys taken Odell, Aaron Donald, or Zach Martin? They all went back to back.
Oh my God, that hurts my head to think about.
If you can go back to that draft and be like, no, don't take Odell, give me Aaron Donald.
My head hurts.
I wanted Aaron Donald back.
So did I.
During that draft.
I agree with you. I was
too. Was it Ebron?
Yeah, it was Eric Ebron. Yep.
I was high on Ebron too, but I wanted Aaron Donald.
We didn't get him then. Honestly, I don't know. I can't give you a solid answer because Odell's my favorite player on the Giants, and I think he's literally changed the entire team. But like I just said, I think Aaron Donald's the best player in the league. But I think receiver will last longer. If that makes any sense at all. That hurts my head, dude. I'm serious. Like, I'm caught between a rock and a hard place with that question.
Well, and that's one thing. And just like Justin, I wanted Aaron Donald in that draft, especially the way Odell started his rookie season, and didn't play till week 7.
Yeah, he missed 4
or whatever it was.
Missed 4 games. Week 5.
I was going off on Odell at that point.
And then he came out and did that. He heard you, Tim. He heard you.
But Odell is everything and more, because I'm going to tell you right now, when he got drafted, I was pissed.
Nuh-uh. You were one of those guys?
I was pissed because, I saw I knew Odell was talented and whatnot, but I would, honestly, at that point, I'd rather have had Mike Evans if we needed a wide receiver. I didn't like little wide receivers.
You're probably eating yourself. You are. In hindsight, you're probably eating yourself.
How many playoff wins does Odell have?
Right.
Okay, yeah, that's a team effort, Tim.
I'm just messing with you.
About to come on you like rain, bro. About to come on you like rain, man.
Who else are you gonna blame in Green Bay?
Yeah.
Odell dropped 2 passes that would have led to touchdowns in the first quarter.
Okay, I mean Sterling Shepard dropped one too, but nobody's giving him crap.
Sterling Shepard's not Odell Beckham.
Yeah, true. He's not the number 1. He was actually the number 3.
True. Okay, technically he's not. He's the number 2. They just have him at 3, so he plays slot. Everybody knows Sterling Shepard is the number 2 target on that team.
Well, now, not that year.
Even that year he was. You thought it was Victor Cruz? Come on. Sterling Shepard had more than 7 times the touchdowns Victor Cruz did. You really think Victor Cruz was our number 2 target?
7 times?
Well, that's the one thing I do want to bring up too.
Sterling Shepard had 8. No, sorry, he had 8 times. He had 8 times the touchdown.
After the one positive thing that came out of this garbage season. Well, there's been a few, but one of the things that came out is Sterling Shepard showing me how good he can be. And that's by himself. That's definitely interesting. Having Sterling Shepard show that he could be a number 1 wide receiver when he doesn't have to be in our offense, which just shows how good a threat he can be going into next season. Knock on wood, everybody stays healthy. Just our receiving core We don't need to go 3 wide receiver sets like, Mr. McAdoo like to do every set. We literally go 2 wide receivers and a tight end, and just stack the box. And if we're running, cool. If we're not, we have receivers that you can cover.
And then you got Evan Ingram, who you can't really cover him either. And then if we have oh my God, I'm sorry, I'm going on to the Barkley train tomorrow. Like if we have Barkley, then we can. Let me just stop before I get all riled up.
Oh God,
I gotta get riled up. I gotta stop.
Justin, I thought you were a Barkley fan. I pictured Todd with literally a Penn State jersey on right now.
If I had one, I'd wear it.
It's sad, man. Like, as good as Barkley is, I'm going to tell you right now, I will almost put a bet right now that one of these running backs, other than Barkley, one of these running backs is going to outrun Barkley as far as run total. I will almost guarantee it. One, if not two.
I think that will happen as well. But I don't think it's not going to be because they're better than Barkley. It's going to be because Barkley. It's because teams are like expecting him more. And also, I think because Barkley's going to be on a team that's going to have more weapons. Like if Barkley comes to the Giants, I'm going to expect some other rookie running backs to have more yards than him because they don't have to share the ball with Odell Beckham, Evan Ingram, Sterling Shepard. I'm not expecting Barkley to come out and have like Ezekiel Elliott rookie numbers. I'm expecting him to come out and break a 1,200-yard season, but his numbers aren't going to be spectacular. But his impact is going to be way greater than what his numbers show.
If he has over a 1,200-yard season, you don't think he's going to have a major impact?
I mean, I meant 2,000 yards. I'm sorry, I meant 1,000-yard season, not 1,200. Sorry, I meant 1,000. I'm looking at the number 1,200 right now, so my bad.
I'm going to if Giants rather run the ball than pass. Because I'll tell you right now, Eli will be 10 times better if he has the capability of a play-action pass.
Honestly, every quarterback is, though. I mean, every quarterback is better with a play-action pass. It's just another threat,
I think Jarrett McKinnon makes Eli a better quarterback.
Yeah.
Yeah, but Odell makes it even better. I mean, Barkley makes it even better. I know you had the idea of McKinnon and Barkley.
Even if it means
that would be nice.
I can't. I'm over Saquon Barkley.
I'm not.
Yeah, I hate him now. I hate him.
You hate him all you want. When he's wearing that Giants jersey and scoring touchdowns for us, I want to hear you say that again. I'm gonna hold you to what you
I
said.
won't hate him
if
he becomes a
he's
Giant.
Touchdowns.
But I'm going to tell you right now, he's not going to be a Giant. And they interviewed a lot of running backs in this week so far, from what I've heard, as far as Giants were interviewing people. They've interviewed a lot of running backs. You wouldn't interview a lot of running backs if you know you're going to take one at 2.
No, you would interview a lot of running backs because if the Browns take the one you want at 1, then you have other backs to fall on. So get out of here with your false logic, old man.
First of all, if Cleveland takes Saquon Barkley at number 1 overall,
then
that is such a Cleveland Browns move to do that I would just go ahead.
Move. That's a genius move.
It's not a genius move.
I think if
they have no quarterback.
If Barkley falls to us, the Browns are dumb. If Barkley falls to us, the Browns are stupid. The Browns move would be letting Barkley fall to the Giants. That would be the Browns move.
Listen, your fanhood's got to relax because a running back, a good running back doesn't mean anything when you have no quarterback.
I'm sorry. You went to the Jaguars offense?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Because I'll tell you right now, go look at his stats. Go look at the stats. Blake Bortles had good stats, and that was with garbage wide receivers.
Because of Fournette.
Oh, Fournette definitely helped out. I'm not saying Fournette didn't help. But guess what? Fournette missed like 3 or 4 games.
Okay, look at the Cowboys. Dak Prescott's garbage. He only does well because of Ezekiel Elliott. His passer rating when not running play action is horrid.
I agree with that, but you know what? They also had their biggest problem was their offensive line got hurt. Their left tackle, Tyron Smith.
Tyron Smith.
He missed He missed a bunch of games.
The best left tackle in the league.
And he's easily the best left tackle in the league.
That without that left tackle, that just goes to show that without that offensive line, the Cowboys are garbage. Like when Tyron Smith went down, their offensive line was still better than almost everybody else's, even without him. Even though he is that good, even without him, their offensive line was still that good, and yet they still didn't produce because they were missing that one offensive lineman. It just kind of goes to show how much that offensive line is carrying that offense, in my opinion. Anyway.
You act like you're talking to Cowboys fans. This is a Giants podcast. I know you listen to different podcasts
a little bit.
out there.
I won't lie. I did get a little aggressive. I won't lie.
This is Bleed Big Blue, just so you know, and not whatever other ones you watch.
That's fired.
So what's going on in the chat room? Anything?
Yeah, we got Scaldwell scolding us for streaming too late at 10 p.m. He wants us to stream earlier since we're on the East Coast. Well, you guys are on the East Coast. Somebody just called Davis Webb a backup. I would slap that man across the face. Some guy also said that Davis Webb is not better than Rosen, Darnold, or Mayfield. They're having a debate between Davis Webb and the other quarterbacks.
As far as I agree with the guys. I honestly, so they did the measurables today, and actually Rosen measured out to be a little bit taller, a little bit heavier than Sam Darnold. And the only issue I have with Rosen is he's had a couple concussions just this season. If it wasn't for those, I think Rosen be hands down the number one quarterback in this draft. He's got the throwing talent. Supposedly he's smart as hell. Like can learn a playbook in a week. You know, so if we end up with Rosen, I'm not gonna be crying. I'm gonna be happy about it. I think I like Darnold as far as potential because he's younger, and I just think Darnold has that. He honestly reminds me of young Eli. As far as how Davis Webb compares, and I'm just going off memory, I would say he's probably, depending on how you feel on Lamar Jackson, he's probably be like the fourth best quarterback. You know, James is trying to sell me on Lamar Jackson, and I like the talent. And Josh Allen definitely has potential. That dude's a monster. He looks like he's a complete clone of Carson Wentz. I would almost have to say Darnold's fourth or fifth, or not Darnold. Davis Webb would be fourth or fifth. I don't know, but it's also I don't know those guys as far as what's in their heads. The one thing I can't give Davis Webb is the dude's a worker, and you can't just teach that kind of work ethic because he's been doing it from day one. And he's pretty much in Eli's back pocket, pretty much sounded like since he came in. So I'm all good with that. Like I said, if they're happy with Davis Webb, I think that's the best of both worlds. Then good, we don't need to take a quarterback. Are we underwater, or what the hell was that?
Oh, sorry. I think it's my water thing, and the ice kind of like went around, so it sounded like water. My apologies.
Now, what other questions have we got? Shoot, rapid fire. Go ahead.
To be honest, the chat's more not questions tonight. It's more of just people arguing amongst each other in the chat. Chat is
let's get in these arguments, settle some of these arguments.
Okay. Oh, right now it's been a lot of just about Davis Webb. We try to scroll up, find some more here. Most of them's been about Davis Webb. People are really torn on him. Okay. I remember a question somebody asked earlier. They said, what do you think is somebody who's kind of like, somebody we could possibly take in a second, with a second pick, not named, not being a quarterback or Saquon Barkley. So somebody that's possible for us to take with a second overall pick who's not Barkley and not a quarterback.
So with the second overall?
Yeah, the second overall pick.
I'm gonna tell you right now if Barkley's not one of them, and we're not taking quarterback, and that's what we're left with, I really think Bradley Chubb is the pick.
Bradley Chubb?
Yeah. Quentin Nelson, that's way too high to be taking any guard. Number 2 overall, I don't care how good he is. It's still a guard. As far as anybody else, I like Fitzpatrick. Is intriguing, but I don't think we need him. And I think Desmond Ward. I think that's his name. Desmond Ward, the corner from Ohio State. He's good, but not worth taking 2 overall. So honestly, I would think Bradley Chubb would be the pick. And just knowing Giants history, I definitely think that would be the pick. What do you think, Justin?
So if we don't take Barkley, that's the.
We don't take Barkley. We don't want a quarterback.
We don't take Barkley or a quarterback.
Yep.
Honestly, at that point, I hope we trade back and we get Smaller from Notre Dame and the linebacker from Georgia. Middle linebacker from Georgia.
Yeah, Roquan Smith. He's good.
Yep. Roquan Smith and that beast. I always forget.
Yeah.
He's from Notre Dame.
Quentin Nelson, nasty. And I'm with you, Justin. I mean, if you don't want Saquon Barkley, you don't want a quarterback. There is absolutely no reason to stay there and pick a number 2.
Yeah, I think if we don't want Barkley, which we should want Barkley, if we don't want a quarterback, I think we should trade Black and grab the guard from crap, I forgot his name again. That guard.
Yeah, Quentin Nelson from Notre Dame.
Quentin Nelson, thank you.
Yeah.
Notre Dame, there he is. In my opinion, if you don't want Barkley, which would be a huge mistake, if you don't want a quarterback, trade back, grab Quentin Nelson. That's successful. Then you get yourself like an additional second rounder, and then probably even a first round next year as well, especially for a pick like number 2.
Yeah, that's the thing is you want to trade back, but I mean, you really don't want to trade back to like the Bills pick the 20th and 21st unless you got a haul, because the fact would be there's still blue chip talent that goes ahead of everybody else. That's why top 10 picks are so coveted, because it's blue chip talent. Some have more blue chip talent in other drafts than others. And I really think there's about six or 7 like blue chip talent if you want to include the quarterbacks in there. And then, Todd,
Mr.
can you
Hinkler wants to
can you
know-
type any louder? I was just curious.
Oh, sorry. I always mute my mic before I type, and I forgot to mute my microphone. Okay, so Mr. Hangglider Man wants to know who you guys think will be taking in the second round. And before you answer that, how early of a pick do we have in the second round?
The second overall pick in the second round.
That's how it works, right? So whatever your first overall pick is, that's the pick you have in every round.
Todd, you're gonna frustrate me.
Dude,
But
I'm
yeah,
lying.
how it works.
I told you, I just started learning about drafting combines and all that stuff like 2-3 years ago. So
I missed you.
You missed Jimmy. Me too. I miss Captain Negative as well.
Oh God. So you want to take that one, Justin? Who are you taking the second round? Who would you like?
Who am I taking?
See, the problem with the drafts, you don't know who's going to end up. Well,
I mean,
who's
for
going to
the
end up
sake of
where?
Conversation, speculate.
I'll say this. Second round. I think again, it's tough to know exactly how the trade is going to fall, or the draft is going to fall with trades and things of that nature. But I would say, as far as a position grouping, I think second round you're going to see him throw up the middle of the defense. And that could be on any one of the three levels. I could see him go defensive tackle. I could see him go one of the middle linebackers, or I could see him go safety. The type of player that Betcher needs to run his defense is drastically different from what we have on the roster right now. So, I'm assuming that we're going to address the offensive line in free agency, and I'm assuming, that we go BPA, whoever they determine that to be, with the second overall pick, and then starting in the second round, that's when you start to fill your roster with starters, and so
yeah,
you're gonna need new, young, fresh talent that can run for days. Because, like Tim said earlier, Betcher's gonna blitz 90% of the time. You thought Thad blitzed a lot in 2007. Betcher's gonna blitz until the cows come home.
Yep. Which is all that tells me, Justin, is that honestly, we're going to have to upgrade the linebacker core. And that's exactly where I think they would go with the second round. And I'll give you some names that I think will be there. A guy like Malik Jefferson, the linebacker from Texas. I'll give you, I'm probably butchering his name because I'm trying to remember his full. It's like Lee Vanderboy, the guy from Boise State. And like the guy I talked about earlier, Nuoso from USC. Guys like that are just fast linebackers that go, sideline to sideline. And that's what we're going to have to fill this defense with. And honestly, if we fill this defense with those kind of players, this defense is going to get taken to another level. Especially because I know a guy.
Really
I know.
exciting.
Yeah, it excites me, and I'm going to tell you right now, if B.J. Goodson can stay healthy, he can definitely be one of those players.
Definitely. I think he can, man. I have some faith in B.J. Goodson. He's a strong tackler, man. I think he's a really good
I don't have
tackling
faith in
linebacker.
him, not after this season. I don't have faith in him, but I'm hoping because until this season,
he had 12 tackles in one game, didn't he, in his first start?
Yeah.
This season. 12 tackles. That's a pretty good game, if you ask me. He was all over
And
the
then
field
he was
in that
hurt.
game. And then he got hurt. Yeah, that's the thing. Like when he's been healthy, he's played well.
In my opinion, he has. Well, at least in the run game, I think he's done very well. He's been like a subpar Bernardrick McKinney when he was healthy, you know. But the guy just can't seem to stay healthy. It does suck though.
And who did you just compare him to?
I said he's been a subpar. Okay, before you jump on my nuts, Mister, I compare Bradley Chubb to Lawrence Taylor. Before you jump on my nuts, all right. I said he's been a subpar Bernardrick McKinney.
Okay, that's fine. I'll give you that one.
Hey, you better not even jump on me after you compare Bradley Chubb to LT.
First of all, you don't even know who LT is, barely.
First
you didn't
off,
even know
I
who Carl
know
Banks
LT
is.
Okay, that was the first Giants. That was the second Giants player I learned about ever.
First of all,
okay?
I'm going to tell you right now,
kid.
it's the fact that you don't know who Carl Banks is bothers me, and the fact that that's how we get.
But I'm a millennial and I don't know everything about football players that were playing when you were a child. All right, golly.
You know what? Are you on Twitter?
Old people. No, I'm not on Twitter. I have a Twitter.
Well, you need to get on Twitter if you want to get some of the research that we get. Carl Banks is somebody that you should add. Carl Banks is somebody you should add.
I'll get to that.
That's one of James's Twitter wars is with with Carl Banks.
Wait, really?
Yes.
Damn.
And you know what? I was gonna bring this up when James is on, but I can't wait. Did you see the Twitter war he had with Snacks?
He actually had one with Snacks?
I did not.
No way. He actually had a conversation with Snacks on Twitter?
Yes.
I need to
because I forgot what Snacks was talking about, and you know James is going to tell the story way better than I am. But from what I saw, James pretty much left a comment as if you guys worried about your Twitter as much as you worried about your play on the field. You would have been a better team.
Damn. Sometimes I question if Captain Negative is really even a Giants fan. How quickly he gets to attack a Giants player. Sometimes I just question, man. He's an Eagles fan in disguise.
The fact that he said it's a snack.
He'll be on the podcast calling in with an Eagles jersey. He'll be sitting there with a Brian Dawkins jersey on.
I was in agreement with James of what he said. It was just the person he said it to I didn't agree with. He just said it to Snacks. And it was after, I think Snacks was defending Odell when everybody was going after Odell and crap.
Oh, man.
But,
that's awesome.
Yeah. He's one of those personalities. Just brings out the best in everybody.
Let me ask you guys a question. If you could talk to one, it's kind of a two-part question, okay? I'll give my answer first, like always. If you could talk to one old Giants player, a former one, and then one now Giants player, who would you talk to and why? And I'll go first. My old Giants player would be Ahmad Bradshaw, just because he's the person that got me. He's the player that even got me interested in the Giants. My new player.
Yeah, go ahead.
My new player would be Davis Webb, and not because I'm just that big of a fan of his. I'm a big fan of his, but it would mainly be because I wanted to get the good stuff from him. Like, I want to know the information. Like, hey, man, so what's going on? Like, so are you going to be the next quarterback? Are we going to draft Saquon Barkley? Like, what's going on? Because he would know, you know. So that would be my thing. That'd be my new player I'd talk to.
First of all, the people you want to talk to are horrible.
Okay, just because I don't feel like talking to the best.
So you want to talk to our one-time third-string running back and our backup quarterback? Awesome.
You just call Ahmad Bradshaw a third. That's the second best running back this team's ever had. All right, so he's backup. Backup kid.
When he won a Super Bowl with us, the first time around, he was our third-string running back. Because
okay, yeah, but he had like the most iconic run in that Super Bowl.
Oh, he absolutely played his part, and I'm not putting down Ahmad Bradshaw because I like Ahmad Bradshaw.
That is not.
But you know what? I just laughed at you, the people you picked. But hey, to each their own. Go ahead, Justin. Would you want to take this question?
Sure.
And mute your damn keyboard.
Shit, I always forget. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
So,
Good, Justin.
old school Giant. I'm gonna say Mark Bavaro.
Nice call. I like that.
I miss Bavaro.
I do as well.
And then current Giant. I'm gonna say Landon Collins, just because he's probably the guy that I enjoy watching the most, that I hear the least from.
Yeah. Yeah,
But
and
what
I feel like he would give it to you straight.
Right, and when I do hear from him, I like what he says, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do like Landon Collins. He's probably my second favorite player on the team right now.
As far as my past one, and I'm a defensive guy, obviously it'd be interesting to talk to LT, but I have to go back to it. My favorite Giant ever would be is Rodney Hampton.
Yeah,
I would love to talk to Rodney Hampton. Yeah.
Yeah, I
look him up.
remember your video about top 5 running backs. You were talking about how much he's like your favorite Giant.
Yeah, my favorite Giant ever, Rodney Hampton. I love big, bruising running backs and just run you right over.
Shout out to Charles.
Yeah, Charles Way.
Next pad.
Yep. The
who's
guy that
your
turned
current Giant?
As far as current Giant, honestly, I'm almost with Justin as far as Landon Collins. But honestly, I like to probably hang out with Snacks.
It's like, you know what? Fuck that. I'm gonna hang out with Aldrich Rosas.
Well, Aldrich Rosas. You
gotta be willing to pay $1,500.
Yeah. And the funny thing is, Aldrich Rosas. I hope he's not reading the paper because it sounds like he's not going to have a job.
Yeah, I doubt it. Like my favorite Giant ever, Mark Herzlich. Zach Dion. Favorite Giant ever. Oh man.
Yeah, those.
Hey, you gonna check the Facebook chat?
Are we on Facebook as well?
No.
We're streaming both.
Chat. I'm talking about their chat.
Oh.
And no, I don't think he has this up on Facebook. Not today. Which I wish he did.
Not when you're running stuff. He doesn't like to give you the keys to the good car.
My internet is better than his. All right, the stream runs smoother on my internet than that's it. That's a fact.
But he also runs into a bunch of different spots where you're only running into what, one?
I'm running
YouTube?
YouTube and Periscope. I'm running to YouTube and Periscope.
Does anybody even talk on Periscope?
To be honest, I have no idea. I've never watched our stream on Periscope.
To all the people listening on Periscope, we're sorry we never looked at your chat.
Yeah.
And please call in some other time.
Yeah, call in.
We don't mean to neglect Periscope. We love you as much as we love Norway.
We love everybody.
Yeah, Norway, please come back.
Call in at 516-453-9383.
Granted, we can't pick up the call, but you know what?
Do that. But it's
unless
nice
your name
to know
is
that you're on
Ned.
the line. It's nice to know you're on hold, though.
Yeah, I don't know how the hell Ned got in.
Yeah,
he must
Marco. Marco got him in.
Marco,
if you guys would read the Facebook chat, he put it in there. Irresponsible children.
Well, I think I'm gonna start rolling. I think I'm gonna wind this down.
Yeah, I think
we gotta close
I
it up.
was just gonna say
Well,
it's
you know
about
what,
that
guys?
time.
I'm pumped for the combine. I actually
I'm
kind of
watching,
curious
I
who's
have my
gonna.
alarm set for that tomorrow morning, dude. I
Well,
literally
you
have my
got
alarm
issues
set
as
for
far
that.
as that. First of all,
did.
you don't even
I
know
think- I already-
when the draft picks are, but you don't.
I don't. I mean,
You don't
But no,
know the order of
I
draft
spent,
picks, but whatever.
I don't know why, but it took me. I'm not even playing around, and when I was done, I couldn't help but feel like I had Down syndrome. Like it took me a total of 30 minutes to find what time the combine started tomorrow. I'm serious. It took me a total of 30 minutes. I was surfing the internet, could not find it for the life of me. I don't know what it was, but I couldn't find out, and I finally found out, and I was like, all right, my alarm is set.
Oh, by the way, guys, we have an extra 4th round pick, which that's pretty sweet. That was actually.
I mean, to be honest though, I feel like any draft pick after the 3rd round is practically useless.
Then you don't know anything about football.
Yeah, you don't watch the draft. You obviously don't. You need to be taught.
I just started watching the draft like 3 years ago. Not even.
Oh my God.
Like I'm kidding.
You know
I didn't
that's
even find out
you know
that
what
Eli
I was
Apple
listening.
was our first round
I was
pick
listening to a
until
thing
the
on
year started.
sports. I was listening to a thing on Sports Talk Radio today, and they were talking about how in the Northeast, which most of us are from, other than somebody.
Why you gotta say it like that?
We love sports way more, in our lives than outside the Northeast. Like
I don't like
maybe they say it's because we're inside a little bit more and we actually care about sports because the winter makes us. But you know what? I know as a kid how much research I did on the draft when I was like 13, 14 years old. And this kid that's in his college doesn't even know that, if you pick second in the 1st round, that you pick second in the 2nd round as well.
Okay. Look, man.
It just hurts.
I didn't get into football until a late age. All right. But I'll tell you what. Anytime the game was on, I was cheering. All right. I'm not going to pay attention to the off season, to the draft, but anytime that season was going and there was a game on, I was losing my mind. All right. So you can say what you will. Don't care. Don't care. All right? I bleed
Justin,
blue, bro.
You know what that sounds like?
I bleed blue.
That sounds like front runner talk.
Absolutely.
And if you want to go back to when he told us he started to become a fan, is when the Giants went to the Super Bowl. That's when he became a fan.
It was a coincidence. I didn't even know they won the Super Bowl. It was a coincidence.
Oh my God!
Fight me, man. I don't care. It was a coincidence. All right.
You're hurting my soul, Todd. The fact that you just said I'm a Giants fan. I didn't even know they won the Super Bowl. Why weren't you not watching the Super Bowl?
No, I didn't find out.
You live in Texas. Isn't it like?
I know.
Isn't football games supposed to be on at church? I mean.
Yeah, they started at 12. They started at 12 a.m. for us. Well, p.m. Sorry. They start at noon. I'm just.
I thought that's life in Texas.
It's hard to be a Christian down here, man. He's being church like, man, what's this guy gonna wrap it up? We got kickoff,
Jesus. Here we go.
You got kickoff.
I wasn't going on religious beliefs just for the crowd out there. I was just saying I thought football was life in Texas. That's what I was told.
It depends. I don't know.
And
There's
obviously,
a lot of baseball people down here. To be honest, it's kind of heavy with baseball and football. But everybody here that's a football fans, either Texans or Dallas Cowboys fans.
Until other teams win the Super Bowl, then there's a whole bunch of other fans that pop up.
Then their fan growth just kind of shoots up a little bit.
All right, guys.
All right, gentlemen.
Let's wrap it up.
Yep. So to everybody out there, we're gonna try to take care of these technical issues, and we'll be back to a regular show come next week. I say that now, and it probably won't be fixed, but that we're trying. So bear with us.
Should be back. Oh wow! Then Cruisin gets here.
All right, Jed.
Hopefully Todd's not streaming next week.
Wow. Why is that?
Until next week.
I'm the best streamer we got.